There we go, guys. Now we are in game. We see Liquid Jinro, of course, being our Swedish Terran player. Sveriga. Heya, Sveriga. I think that's how they cheer in Sweden.
Heya.
Heya, Sveriga. Something like that. And on the right top side of the map, we have our Korean Protoss player, Puzzle. Puzzle, who needs to win to keep, basically, to keep his rank 1 position in the division, which is, of course, a really big deal. He's 4-1 right now. Got a little bit lucky. MC was not able to play last week, so he got the walkover against MC. If you ever want to receive a walkover, Ben, it's probably it's probably against MC. But that could be a very important one, because that could make the difference at the end of the road between Puzzle and MC, because MC having a 3-1 record right now did not actually lose yet in the NASL.
I think the only walkover that might be more impactful is the one Puma got over Stefano.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks prior to that, Stefano had 3-0'd Puma at Assembly. And I imagine Puma was probably sweating that game, but Stefano was on his ski trip. Wasn't able to make that, and so Puma remains undefeated in Division 1.
Stefano in general doesn't care that much, man. I would love to say that, like, as soon as it's playoffs, Stefano cares a lot more, or when he's at our finals, he cares a lot more.
You just don't know with Stefano. You just don't. Sometimes he's...
I really think that if Stefano wouldn't have partied during events, he would have probably made like $60,000 more in his career.
Yep.
Like, if you have followed his Twitter today, you just have no idea what's going on. The guy is playing like MLG Championship Sunday. You think he's super stoked to win an MLG. Finally does really well in MLG. And the first tweet you read this morning about Stefano is like, why do I wake up with an earring? It's like, oh god, what did you do last night, Stefano? I don't even want to know.
Brings back memories of Home Story Cup.
Maybe it wasn't all that bad, but yes, we saw Stefano at Home Story Cup. Talking about the Home Story Cup, that tournament got recently announced as well.
Home Story Cup 5?
Yes, that is correct. Will be the second weekend of July. Of course, Ben and me are going to try to be there. We can't make any promises yet, but...
yeah, I really hope we can go. It's probably... Got to be very careful with the terminology here, because NASL is amazing, but Home Story Cup is definitely one of the most anticipated events of the year, because you get to see these players in a completely different setting. Everybody just gets to relax and be their normal, charming selves. And
I've been part of Home Story Cup since day one, Ben. I've been at the very first Home Story Cup, which started off small, the one that the Muslim managed to win, and the second one was a little bit bigger, and then people were like, hey man, this tournament is pretty cool.
Home Story 3 was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Home Story Cup 3 was huge, and Home Story Cup 4 was just off the charts.
And I cannot wait for Home Story Cup 5. It'll be...
But if you ask me, like, all of the Home Story Cups were super awesome. Like, even the first one, which just had, I believe, Zoka, Hazuops, and the Muslim, and Red at Dennis's place. That one was really, really fun already. And then the second one was a lot bigger when guys like Nama and Todd started to make their way over as well. But anyways, a lot of Home Story Cup chat. But yeah, that one is coming up, so make sure to follow those guys at twitter.com/HomeStoryCup, because Dennis, or not Home Story Cup, just twitter.com/TakeTV. Because yeah, the man behind the Home Story Cup, Dennis Galen, is an absolutely awesome guy with it. Really real heart and good passion for esports.
We've often said that if you look up esports, you'll see Twitch TV in the dictionary, but
Dennis Galen is right there.
Under alternate definitions, you have Take's face.
Man, interesting opening over here by Puzzle. Puzzle's opening up Stargate, and what a perfect dream scenario to make up. To open Stargate, because this is very risky. If you play against No Gas Fast Expand, I wouldn't say you're dead, but you're in a very, very bad shape. You're in a horrible position. You're in bad shape. You need to make something happen. If you open Phoenix against Banshees, that's a dream scenario. That's how I used to beat very good players on ladder in Europe, when it would be like, oh yeah, just beat rank 1 GM. Like, I would tweet that with full pride, but I would never add that I opened Stargate against the Banshee opening, because it's like the best thing that could ever happen to you.
And Jinro's not going to be able to see this anytime soon. Actually, he's not going to see it at all, as there's units out blocking Puzzle's ramp, and there's just a Hellion out on the map for Jinro.
No, the time that Jinro is going to see this is when he have Cloak. For the people who wonder right now, what about Cloak? Oh, it's a Raven opening. That's actually pretty good.
Maybe not good, but it's better than opening Banshee.
Exactly. That's probably where I want to go. Because Stargate is always very good against one-base Terran, because then actually picking off SCVs hurts Terran quite a bit, and their army is just not as scary. If you guys wonder, what about Cloak Banshee, Rotty? Isn't that very good against Stargate? No, because part of the real build, Puzzle's not doing it right now, and yes, now Cloak Banshee would have been very good, because Puzzle just doesn't make a robotics facility, which is playing with fire. But there is a build where you can get both Stargate and robotics facility of one base, and your observer is just about to pop when the first Cloak Banshee makes their way into your base.
So Jinro goes fast Tech Lab on a Starport, and then Raven into Viking. Wow, well, so sick.
The only reason he cancelled the Raven because he saw the Phoenix.
Ah, okay.
And now he makes the Viking, which he of course rather makes from a reactor Starport, but he needs something. But Phoenixes are actually pretty good against 1-1-1. Now we see The only thing that I'm a little bit surprised by, Ben, is that Puzzle makes the Nexus at his natural. I don't think he has to do this. I would have loved to see the Puzzle take this like secret, right. Yeah, because it's so extremely hard to scout against Phoenix. Phoenix give you absolute map control. So if Puzzle just have one unit over here, and everything that passes the Selnaga Watchtowers he picks up with Phoenixes, and then he's gonna have enough time. Because when like the moment Jinro wants to fight, he doesn't have to fight here. He can wait a little bit longer here, and the moment he has 2 Colossus, he's going to be more than fine because Marines are not a threat anymore. So I'm a little bit surprised that Puzzle expands over here, but I think he's going to be more than fine, certainly right now, because Jinro is actually expanding behind this, which is a dream scenario once more for Puzzle.
Yeah, so good stuff here. When you play Phoenixes, you're often vulnerable to like some weird stem timings, yes. But even that's not something he has to worry about, as Jinro never had a tech lab on his barracks. He swapped it out, or he never even swapped it out. He just never built it. The first tech lab was built on the factory.
Yeah, the only thing you really have to worry about when you open Phoenix is that they open no gas fast expand, or even a 2-rex into expand. Or like let's say like Marauder into expand is all very, very good, because there's going to be a moment when Terran has a lot of stimmed bio units and you're just not able to defend your expand. It's simple as that. So that's why if you want to expand, you have to go for a hidden expand, and even that is risky too, because then there's going to be a moment where there are medevacs and stimmed bio and you're not able to defend both bases at once, because by then Terran can scout.
Oh, this is so good for Puzzle. He's got an 8-worker lead. And the command center is still not complete for Jinro. Oh, okay, just now complete for Jinro. Jinro's also getting siege. I like this. I think one of the answers to the issues Terrans have been having in TVP is having tanks to kind of fight around. That's something that Puma's always done well.
Look at this, man. Those 2 Marines were having a fight in the base. Like this one Marine is like, oh, I saw what you did with my wife last Sunday. This is the John Terry of Marines. He's not very loud.
Where's the Hang Moody Marine is what I want to know.
The Hang Moody Marine? He is not here, that's why he's Hang Moody.
Yeah. I think he's in the bunker with yeah. with the Jennifer Lopez Marine.
Yeah. No, with all the medics. With 3 medics and I don't know, we never know what drives the Raven, but
it's a weird robot.
Might be good enough for Hang Moody. I love Hang Moody, he's my favorite character after Harry Gold.
70 supply to 75 supply. Puzzle's starting to chrono boost out those upgrades, and this is a position he should be pretty comfortable from.
It's so nice to play Phoenix in this scenario, Ben. Like maybe my explanation about Phoenix openings against Terrans was a little bit complicated earlier on, but it's actually not all that complicated. Basically, fast expand bio is very good for Terran against Phoenix. Everything else is very good for Protoss, and you can just see that because Terran is actually really quite handicapped. And that's why I just, for instance, said as well, like back then when I played a lot of ladder in Europe, I was often able to defeat the best Terrans in Europe just by opening Phoenix, which is a huge gamble. But yeah, it's just so nice, and if you know how to play it out, you're in excellent position as Terran, and there's really not that much to worry about. As Protoss, of course.
Jinro is going to push with combat shields.
Yeah, but by now,
doesn't have stem though.
And the first Colossus is going to be out. Of course, I mean, Puzzle's going to have to do something right, but he couldn't use those Phoenixes as well to lift up the siege tanks. But what he basically should do is just make a lot of Zealots and then just walk in with your Colossus, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah, Puzzle, because of these Phoenixes, knows exactly what's happening.
Puzzle's so like doing small over-tech kill, like double fortune stuff. That's really not necessary, because he has much better economy, so he doesn't have to prepare for a later phase of the game. Right now, all you need is as many units as soon as possible, and as soon as you have that, like if Puzzle crushes this attack, it's absolute game over. So I'm a bit surprised that he's going double forge, which I think is unnecessary, but hey, it's Puzzle, man. Who am I to question Puzzle?
I think Jinro also realizes the difficulty that he's facing. That's why he's probably pushing so quickly. He says, all right, I've got to win now or else I have no chance. Puzzle did, I think.
It's going to be 2 Colossus and 34 Marines, man.
Yeah, the tanks will help a little bit, and there are Vikings in the mix, but just not that many. And of course, as you said, the Phoenix is so valuable because they can lift units. They absorb damage from those Vikings. Here we go. This fight is going to happen. Immortal comes forward and immediately just crushes that tank. The Colossi doing exactly what they do.
Zip zap. All the Marines are dying, man. Phoenix doing a really good job against those Vikings as well. Jinro tries to make something happen over here, but this is just an absolutely unwinnable fight for him.
Yep, he manages to kill the 2 Colossi.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter because by the time the next push comes, there's going to be more Colossus, and Jinro still is behind in workers as well.
Yeah, he knows it. GG, Jinro taps out. Puzzle takes game number 2. It's about as close as you can get to a build order win, Kev.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. As I said, I've been in this position where you're able to beat better players with a very good build order, and I wouldn't say that that's what Puzzle needs to beat Jinro. I mean, the ranking would say the opposite is true, but this is just a perfect scenario. But I wouldn't say it's all luck. If you watch Jinro's games throughout the NASL, he often lost to open one base. He opened one base on Ohana, and yeah, why would he go Nexus first once more? One guess. One gate fast expand Nexus. If you can open something like Phoenix against a most likely to be one base Jinro, yeah. Like, hey, I will do the exact same thing.
Phoenix is good against a lot of one base builds.
Against every one base build. Really? I don't know any one base.
7 Rex. That's
not a build, man.
It's a build. It's a build. Let's take one final look at that last fight so we can see just how well it went for Puzzle.
Those Colossus, man, all the Marines just lined up.
Yeah, I mean, this happens, and the Colossi just...
And the Immortal did a very good job as well, and absorbing so much damage and picking up a tank straight away. Jinro does do a good job at killing both Colossus with his siege tanks, but doesn't really matter.
Yep. Puzzle looking very strong in game number 2, and evens up the series as we move into our 3rd and final game in this TVP. That last one brought to you by Epson Projectors, the best and brightest line of projectors in the world. You can check out all their products at epson.com/projectors.
And we'll be using those projectors next Sunday at our Sunday Showdown with Naniwa versus Genius. If you haven't heard it yet, now you hear it again. Naniwa versus Genius, Ben. Why am I so excited?
Naniwa versus Genius?
Naniwa versus Genius.
Did you say Naniwa versus Genius?
I said Naniwa versus Genius.
Cannot wait to see Naniwa versus Genius next Sunday.
Naniwa versus Genius.
Short commercial break and then the final game of Jinro versus Puzzle.
That's Genius with Naniwa.